I will fight for the direct election of school principals by parents, so that if you have a lousy principal, and you got some beauties out there, but if you have a bad principal who's not getting the job done, the parents will, under the Trump administration, be allowed to vote to fire that principal to select someone who will do a great job.
Public education in general has long been a hot-button issue when it comes to elections in the US, but since COVID, education in general has become a lightning rod issue, igniting anger, fear, confusion, and terrible policy proposals. So let's zoom out a bit and address the very real problem our country is facing in terms of youth education and what is stoking anger both on the left and right. Our nation's children are falling so far behind in educational benchmarks that the numbers are shocking. The National Assessment of Educational Progress, or NAEP, is the largest continuing and nationally representative assessment of what US students know and can do in various subjects. NAEP is a congressionally mandated project that is the only test American children in all 50 states are given. And since 2020 and school closures with COVID lockdowns, student scores have fallen off a cliff. In 2023, the decline in math scores was the largest ever for this version of the NAEP assessment, and reading scores were lower than the first data collected in 1971. And there are tons of other statistics that illustrate these failures. Not only failures in the student's performance, but in just how shocking this performance is even to the student's parents. For example, in Chicago, 91% of parents think their kid can read at grade level, but just 22% of kids actually can. So obviously, this is what opens the door to perhaps the most vicious debate in our politics today. What are we going to do about this? And of course, some solutions are better than others. We saw Donald Trump's argument that, oh, we just need to fire a school's principals whenever the parents want. And while it is such a ridiculous idea, don't be surprised when candidates backed by the Moms for Liberty, who handed Trump the stage for his speech, gain a lot more ground come election season. Unfortunately, the education of our youth has become such a politicized topic, much like so many other aspects of our society, and if it's breaking your brain to hear the constant news about left versus right in middle schools, watch how Lauren Boebert is trying to deal with the idea of woke teachers with guns.
I want to arm teachers. I want to have secure schools. We secure our airports. We secure our banks. Why not our most precious asset, our children?
Let me ask you about the arming teachers thing, because there's part of me that's not inherently against it. But then when you see how many teachers are actually left-wing activists.
Yes.
How many teachers are actually teaching this woke craziness? How many teachers are clearly not good at their job or actually quite negligent in their responsibilities? What do you do about that? Because it's not as if you're just going to handguns to people, train them, and they're going to be ideologically lined up with you in a way that's going to make any sort of sense.
Correct. Well, I don't think most of those woke teachers are going to be volunteering to be armed. There's certainly circumstances that are always beyond my imagination.
Not gonna lie, I'm really glad Dave Rubin asked this question, which left Boebert totally without response. If that's what it takes to stop this talking point of arming teachers, I guess we'll take it, right? For more of my videos on the breakdown, stay right here. You can watch my latest video on Marjorie Taylor Greene getting stumped over the border issue by clicking on the link in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all platforms at Caro Johnson 917.